fashionistas, welcome to my current favorites videos. As you might know already if you've been watching me for a little while, I don't do monthly favorites, and the reason is, as I've mentioned before, is because a lot of the products that I use are only accessible if you live where I live. Therefore there's no point of me talking about them in an international kind of way, but every now and then I collect my current favorites and I talk about them in a collective kind of video whenever I get a chance to. So here's my current favorites if you want to see what I have. I'm actually going to start off with the only fashion or accessory favorite that I have right now, and that's this statement necklace. I will put a link down below to either the search on the site that you can get this. This was, I think, if I'm not mistaken, around $20. Totally worth it. Totally colorful and springy and just perfect. It would work with anything, but you could just wear this with a plain tee and it would look amazing. I really like this because I have some shirts that are like open in the chest area, but I don't have a very pretty chest or a chest that's worth looking at. Let's put it that way. No, I'm not talking about my breasts. I'm talking about my actual chest. And I just find this so gorgeous. I was staring at this necklace for the longest time online, but it was like, I tend to buy jewelry, very cheap jewelry, costume jewelry. And this was a little bit expensive compared because this was like $20-something. So it was a little bit expensive, totally worth it, totally worth picking up. I don't regret it one bit, and I totally love it. So my next favorite is my perfume of right now. As you might know, I don't avoid speaking about perfumes that are not cruelty-free on my channel. However, videos that are like this, I do tend to focus only on cruelty-free, and perfume is kind of the reason I don't keep necessarily cruelty-free 100% when it comes to perfume is because it's very difficult. There's very little options. Also, it's not like every company has the same scent. It's not like you have like 10 companies, 5 of them are cruelty-free, 5 of them are not, but they all have a red lipstick. It's not the same, and since I have such strong sensitivities to smells, and I really like perfumes, it's a very difficult topic for me personally. I would like to know what your recommendations are for cruelty-free. I know that a lot of times essential oils and stuff like that are a good route to go, and there is possible to go cruelty-free on your perfumes. Carolina Herrera is one of the brands that not only I really like her designs, she also is cruelty-free. She's one of the very few. If you want, I'll try to make a video about cruelty-free perfume once. And the recent perfume that they came out with was the 212 series, and this is VIP Rose. What I really like about this, well, the packaging is gold rose, and I'm obsessed with gold rose, and I don't think you can see it completely because of the reflection, but you can kind of see what it looks like. And it kind of is a gradient see-through kind of effect up to the bottom. So you can't see how much you've used up when you're only in the beginning of using it. It's really nice. I love the weight of it. It's not too heavy because I like to stick my perfumes a lot of times in my purses to renew my smells throughout the day. I really love this smell. It's a nice, florally, almost summery smell, but what's really nice about it is the fact that it has rose just at the right amount. A lot of times rose perfumes can be a little bit heavy and old womany like, and this is not like that. It's a really nice perfume that has the touch of rose without making you smell like your grandmother. My next recommendation, well, I have 2 recommendations basically that are makeup brushes. So the first recommendation that I have, and I'm going to be uploading a review on the set, but it's the EcoTools Eye Set. It's a 6-piece eye makeup 6-piece kit or something like that, and it's 6 pieces because it does include a little pouch that these go in, but it's actually 5 makeup brushes, as you can see, and these are not big, they're not long, so they will fit very nicely into any makeup set, any makeup bag. I know one of the problems that I have a lot of times with my makeup brushes is that they're too long to fit in standard, or they don't sit right, or the bristles kind of get, but these are really nice because they can fit really nicely into any makeup bag, basically. I really like these. These are not expensive. I can't remember how much they are. I got them off iHerb. I will link down the link below if I can find it. Plus, if you want to get these off of iHerb, and I recommend getting them off of iHerb, look up, I have a $10 coupon down below if you use my code. And yes, as I always say, I do get benefits from that. Just so you know. Anyways, I really like this set. I'm really loving this set. I mean, I keep going back to it, and it's a very surprising kind of set. The reason is well, I'll talk about the two shader brushes, and you'll have to go just watch my review to see what I think about the rest of the brushes. But the first reason why I really like this was I'm trying to look up the name. Oh my god, it's smudged. It's almost rubbed off. Okay, so the smaller shader, it might be called small shader, I will try to look it up, is a very small shadow shader brush, and I really like this because I have small eyes and I really like working with small brushes, so I really like that for that reason. And oddly enough, I really like the large shader, which is, if you look at the size comparison of these two right next to each other, this is ridiculously bigger. It's so soft. You can also use it, I guess, as a, sometimes I like brushes that I can pat on the shadow and then kind of, you know, blend them in my crease. I really like this. This applies shadow and pigment, and it just picks up the product so perfectly, and you don't know how good a shader brush can be until you come across something like this. So now I know what to compare my rest of my shader brushes, and I have to tell you, I'm really surprised. Very happy I got this set. Totally worth it, and I'm probably going to be picking up another one of these simply because they're so low cost and do a wonderful job, and I'm a makeup brush junkie. The next makeup brushes recommendation is, one of them was dirty because I used it to apply my makeup this morning. Actually a BB cream, but okay. You've probably heard about this. It's the F80 and F82 by Sigma. So as you can see, and they're marked by me, if that's what you're wondering what that is. As you can see, this is the flat top one, the one that's F80 that everybody talks about, and I do use this quite a bit. And then you have the F82, which is actually, out of the two brushes, is my favorite. The F82 has a rounder dome. It just, I feel like it applies the makeup much more, what's the word I'm looking for? It blends it in far nicer. It just has a small kind of dome shape on top. This, I feel, is actually almost as dense as the e.l.f. powder brush that I have spoken about and I love. It's very similar to that. This is, and I think that it would be really nice to kind of pat in your powder. And now it's slightly dirty. I guess my BB cream hasn't set. I really like these brushes. I really recommend them. Check down below for an affiliate link. You can go in there and check it out. But I really like these. I've been using this. I think I've had these for like several months now, and I keep going back to them over and over and over. It's like my consistent way of apply foundation. I think that I'm going to be picking up the Beauty Blender Dupe by, I have no idea what it's actually called, from Real Techniques, the little orange sponge, and I will see if I like it, because I used to apply when I was growing up. Since I was 16 and getting into makeup, I used to use foundation quite a bit, and I always used sponges. So and it took me a long time to get into makeup brushes, actually. So I'm wondering how this will compare to that, but I guess I'll have to see. On to my next recommendation. I can't remember if I've spoken about this before. It's the Fashionista Style Icon, what's it called? Well, it's basically the powder, and this is in color London. I think it's the fairest one of all, and I'm moving almost completely away from this right now for summer. My coloring is amazing. My color is like, it can get quite pale in the winter. I mean, I've never been like a really light NC10 or something like that, but I've always been fairly light in the winter. That means I can go down to like a 180, which sits perfectly on my skin, and then in summer I can be like a 240 in Revlon. I know I'm using a reference that I have a very difficult time explaining otherwise, and I don't use Revlon, but I think that's a really good indicator. 180 is like a really light, I think it's the third lightest shade that they have, and then 240 is like a beige already. So I get 240 in the summer, and that's, I think, because summer here is just so strong and everybody's out in the summer and you're doing stuff, and although I do use protection on my face, that very little sun that sometimes you get is enough to make you completely tan. And my pigmentation is that it absorbs the color really strongly. I think that's the whole thing, because my brother and the rest of my family members actually kind of burn and turn red pink for a while, and then they go back to their original coloring. I actually hold my tan. Anyways, after babbling along, the Fashionista Style Icon Powder by MUA. You can get their stuff on their site. I'll link down below. You can see the packaging kind of has a foil effect on it. It's not pretty. It flips open. It reminds me of some of the Bourjois products that have this kind of effect going on. I'm sorry if I'm blinding you. I'm trying not to. And basically you flip it open and that's the mirror, and then you can have it flip down. And I'm trying strongly not to blind you, but you can kind of see the effect. I really like this powder because it's not a foundation powder, but it's a really nice setting powder. I haven't used it specifically over concealer because I rarely use concealer, but I like this for setting my foundation. And the reason is it's just very, very finely milled, and that's all there is to it. And I found that even if I have to like reapply a layer later on, I don't have to do it more than twice throughout the entire day of wearing my makeup. So I really like this. It's really inexpensive, and you can go check out their site and see if they still have this in stock. I really like it. My other British recommendation, I have two recommendations, are MUA, and then of course I have my Sleek Makeup, are two lipsticks. I really like their lipsticks. I have 12 of them. I love them. I use them. One of them is called Fuchsia and the other one is Amped. They're both actually fuchsia, but the difference is one of them is sheen and one of them is matte. One of them is a little bit more blue based, and the other one I think is kind of midways between blue and red. I will swatch them on my hand right now so you can kind of get the idea. The bottom one is going to be Amped, and the top one is going to be Fuchsia. Though on my hand you can't really see the difference, but you kind of can, because this one is, as I said, this one is matte, this one is sheen, so you can kind of see that difference. And you can see that this one is a little bit more pinker and this is a little bit more purpley kind of color. I really like these. These are so far my favorite colors for spring. I have a feeling I'm going to be wearing this into summer, although I'm kind of into the orange tone as well, oddly enough. So I really like these two colors from Sleek Makeup, Fuchsia and Amped. On to my next recommendation. It's another Sleek product. It's the Vintage Romance 141 palette. Love this thing. Love, 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 love it. I think you can still find it on their site. What Sleek does is they have these 12 shadows. Yeah, they're 12 shadows, eyeshadow palettes. And what they do is they have their original line, and then they have like ones that they do like a limited edition of. So this one came out for fall this year, for fall 2013, and then for winter 2013-2014 they had one called Celestial that I've barely even touched yet. I think that's just because I have a lot of stuff and I haven't got around to it. And right now they have one called Tajmar, something like that. It has a nice bunch of oranges in it, so I'm planning on picking it up. This was one of their special edition ones. I love this thing. I would recommend highly eyeshadows by Sleek. As I said before, one of the things that I really like about their eyeshadows is that it's simply, they give you like a nice collection each time. They do pick them out very nicely. Oh, there we go. Now you can really see the shadows. I really, really like these. That's the eye look that I have on today. And I have, and you can't really see it that well, but basically it's like I've used the two gold ones, this and this, and then I used this kind of brownie red here. So that's my eye makeup for today. And I also did an eye makeup look on my channel, so I'll link down below and probably on the screen right next to my head here. So click through if you want to go see what I did with this eyeshadow. Two more recommendations in the cheek department. So the first one is one of the e.l.f. Studio Line blushes. This is in color Twinkle Pink, and this is, I'm not sure which number to read out because it just has two numbers, so I'll just say Twinkle Pink. And it's one of their amazing blushes. I wanted these for so long. You've probably seen this on the haul that I did, and I posted it this week. That haul is from like several months ago, but I'd never got around to uploading it for some reason. Anyways, I really like these. I've been playing around with a lot of the products, and one of the blushes that I keep going back, because I picked up 10 one of the products that I keep going back to is this particular blush. I haven't gone into all the blushes quite yet, but I really like this simply because it's a nice kind of orangey, sparkly, peach kind of color. I'm swatching it now, so I'll be able to show you. It's just a nice kind of sheer color, perfect for when you haven't quite gotten your tan in yet. And I'm just warning you, it does have sparkles in it, be aware. But it's basically just this really nice color. The other product that I really like is Bourjois Baby Bronzing Cream 8-in-1, and that product kind of looks like this. I got it off of ASOS, but you can get it in other places as well. It smells, it has a little figurine of a chocolate cube here. It does have somewhat of that fake chocolate smell as opposed to like the real chocolate smell like Too Faced products tend to have. It still kind of smells like chocolate, but you know what I mean. Anyways, this is supposed to work in several ways. I've looked this up several times because I was so debating of how you can use this, and I use it basically underlaying my bronzer when I do my bronzer, and I do put it on top of my foundation. This does have somewhat of an orange tint to it, so I am going to warn you ahead of time. But when you apply it, it does eventually dry to a nice, fine, matte brown color. You need to check this out. This will work for a variety of shades, of skin shades, up to a certain point. If you are lighter, you'll have to blend it in more. If you are darker, you need to blend it in less, and over a certain color it will simply not work for you. They only have this in one shade. I like it. I use it mainly for over my foundation and under my powder bronzer, and it just makes it last a little bit longer. Also, if I want my... It almost looks like I have no makeup on my nose for some reason. I think that's because I was rubbing it and blowing it earlier. I use it sometimes like for other places that I would want to put a hint of bronzer. So like in the inside of my temples or something like that. You can also use this all over your face. Personally, I don't do that because I always feel when I put bronzer on my face itself that I tend to look dirty and muddy. And I've never been able to apply that properly. But I have seen other people and other YouTubers and other bloggers use this as an all-over kind of priming bronzer. And then they put their foundation over this. So it's up to you how you want to use it. As a lot of things in makeup, really, you can use it any way you want to. So it's up to you. I really like it. That's what I'm using. I also have the one that's like in a little pot and more like a cream product. I think I like the other one more, but I might do a comparison between this one and the other one. If you would like that, please let me know, because I don't know, it would be nice to know that somebody wants to watch that video. That's all. My last recommendation is, I knew I was going to be including this mascara, but I was kind of surprised when I realized that I'm going to have to include this mascara. And if this doesn't look really familiar, that's okay, because it's not really talked about. This is the LA Girl Lash Boosting Mascara, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see really the writing, but that's kind of what it looks like. This is 621 black. All my mascaras are black, and I was really shocked. I got this, I did a haul that I include in this and I'll link down below, and I haven't really gotten around to using it, but it's a really dry formula. Almost in the beginning I almost thought that it was completely dried out. And if you get it in still wet, you might let it want to dry just a little bit, because that's when it really proves to be an amazing product. I use this together with my Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. That is the first mascara ever since I went cruelty-free that I know that I'm going to be repurchasing. And that's saying a lot, because I'm trying out a lot of mascaras. And together with this, it's perfect. And what this does, just a little bit of product that you have on it, it just kind of curls my lashes perfectly. And I was really surprised when I realized that, like, you usually look in the mirror, unless you do a before and after, and then you look at it yourself. That's the only way you sometimes can see the difference. But I actually saw the difference as I was applying it in my mirror, and I was really surprised, taken by surprise, really happy about this combo. Really works for me. I'll probably be picking up another one of these, but I'm really happy about this mascara. It's a total surprise. These are really not expensive. You should try picking them up. It's either you can either get them on Cherry Culture or Beauty Joint. I always get those two sites confused, so sometimes when I say Beauty Joint I actually mean Cherry Culture, and sometimes when I say Cherry Culture I mean actually Beauty Joint. Just keep that in mind in case you're watching my videos. I'm sorry in advance for that, but that's just what there is. I really like these. That was is my current favorites. Oh, and I have one more favorite that's not beauty or makeup or something like that. I've recently not recently, but like a long time ago, I got into Bollywood and music and movies, basically, because Bollywood is movies. And it's a really amazing industry, and I found myself really enjoying those movies. Some of them are like really serious movies that are serious about themselves, even if they're not a serious movie. And some of them are like really silly, and they're fun because they're full of music, they're full of colors, and I just find them so entertaining. I personally, the first movie, I can't remember, but I started getting into the music first. A lot of times I'll see the music and the music video off of that movie. Usually each movie has at least like 5, 6, 7 songs coming off of it, but there's usually like one main song that's all over the place. And right now I've recently rewatched, the first movie I've ever watched from Bollywood, and now I remember, I'll put the name down below. It was a movie with, and I'm not pronouncing these names properly, I know that, I'm sorry, Hrithik Roshan, and Kapoor, what's her name? She's all over the place. And I think it's called I Dream of, I can't remember. Again, I'm totally out of it. But I watched that movie, and I think it's like almost 3 hours long. I watched that movie without translation, and I don't speak Hindi. Just pointing that out. I watched it completely in a foreign language. So that's how much I love these movies. So anyways, the movie that I currently rewatched, that's a Bollywood movie, is Ajinachala, if I'm not mistaken how to pronounce. Again, all the names will be down below and links to the Wikipedia site so you can look it up yourself. It has the wonderful Madhuri Dixit in it. I envy Superwoman for, that's another recommendation. If you don't know who Superwoman is, I will link her channel down below. She's an amazing creator on YouTube. I've been watching her, I think, for now 2 years. And it's amazing because when I started watching her, she was doing well as a YouTuber. Now she's a YouTuber sensation. And recently, and my lighting is currently turning me completely gray, she recently met with Madhuri Dixit, and I was like, yeah, I would like to meet Madhuri Dixit as well. Anyways, there's a song that I really like by it, and I also like the movie itself, and I will link down below to the YouTube. It's the premises of the movie basically is that Madhuri Dixit goes back to her hometown in India. She lives in New York, I think New York, somewhere in the States, and she puts together a show, and within that show, what they did is they showed the actual show. Supposedly, it's like a 20-minute long story song, kind of. It's like one long song, but it's actually like different songs, and it tells the story of Leila and Manju. Okay, Leila and Manju, I got the names. And if you don't watch anything but watch one thing, watch that video, because it's just so, the music is just so, it takes you away, and the story, and if I can find it, I'll put one down below that has the subtitles, but even if it doesn't have the subtitles, believe me, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's an amazing song. It's an amazing story. I love it. I cried the first time I saw it. Love that. Just absolutely love that. So that's my non-beauty recommendation, and that's it for today. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Tell me what your current favorite is down below in the comment. You can write down in the comment anything you want, to a certain extent, right? And do check out all my social media links down in the down bar, so you can find my Pinterest, Instagram, my Twitter, my Facebook page, and my blog page. And that's it for today, so bye!